lovely peeps, happy 2025. I am so excited to be back in the sewing studio. It is currently the 7th of January and this is definitely not the start that I had expected to the year. You could probably still hear it a little bit, but I'm just getting over what I'm convinced was the flu. Mum very kindly gave me the flu the day that we went to the mainland to pick up Kai. I mean, I'm not surprised. I was in a car with her and then staying in a room with her for the entire time we were up there, and we did come back with a very cute puppy who has been unbelievably well behaved, which has been lovely. So yeah, we've Mum's still not very well. She's on day 18, I'm on day 16. Dad so far is pretty much fighting it off. He's had a couple of bad days, but he's not been as bad as either Mum or I, which has been really nice. But yeah, this is definitely not the start to the year that I was hoping for. I fully intended to finish off my 8577 and hem my goldfish dress in the in-between times so that they would have been finished last year and could have been ticked off my make 9 officially and also be included in my 2024 makes. But as you can see, they are still in pieces and have not been done. But never mind, it is what it is, and I'm going to work on both of those things this week. I've also got a bunch of things that I want to film. I do want to do a 2024 review, year in review, because I really enjoy having a look back at the things that I've made over the year, seeing which ones were successful, which ones got worn, which ones didn't work quite as well. And I am still planning on doing this video. I went back to, because I started doing those year in reviews. I have the notes in my traveler's journal. Let me get the notes. 2018 was the first year in review that I did, and since then I've done one every year. I've gone back and watched those older ones and actually made a note of how many of them were knit projects, how many of them were woven projects, how many of them were commissions when I still took commissions, also how many of them are still in the wardrobe and how many of them have either been donated, sold or gifted on to friends and family because they didn't work for me. That number has been decreasing, or the number of things that haven't worked has been decreasing year on year, which is good because it means that I'm narrowing down and honing in on the stuff that I actually like and wear, because I know it's really tempting, and a lot of us do it. We make a bunch of a specific thing or a specific print because we love it. Cobra corsage springs to mind, and fancy over the top dresses. Now I do wear fancy over the top dresses a lot because I like to dress that way, but there are some that I prefer over others, and the ones that I wear more often and still are in the wardrobe now after years and years and years of being made and worn kind of gives me an idea of the things that I actually use as opposed to the things that I just like making and like sewing up. Because I mean, given my own way, I think I'd be making a lot more kind of like over the top fancy evening gowns, and I'm actually going to probably be end up doing quite a lot of that this year because I have already got a everyday wearable wardrobe covered. I've still got holes and gaps in the wardrobe. I've still got fabrics back here that are going to make everyday kind of dresses, so I'm not saying that I'm never going to do that again. But yeah, the thing that I don't have very much of is evening gowns and evening appropriate dresses, and given how much I do dress up of a day or day to day, a lot of the dresses that I would maybe have classed as sort of like going out dresses now are just, to me, everyday dresses. So yeah, never knowingly underdressed. So I still want to do like I say, the year in review video, because it will be good to see if there are more wins this year than fails, and I think there are. I've also made much less this year, but that's for a number of reasons and for a number of kind of like hiatuses the channel has had as well. And then I would like to, as I say, do kind of like a overview of everything since 2018, of what's been made and stayed and gone, and how my styles evolved since I've started sewing, or the last sort of 7 years, 8 years, 7 years, one or the other. My brain's definitely not been engaged. So yeah, I've got that to film, and I'm going to do a TLDR version of that with the 5 hits and 5 tops hits and 5 misses of the year. If you don't want to watch the longer version, because some, like one of them I did was 1 hour and 40 minutes long, and 44,000 people watched that, which blew me away. So yeah, I mean, it probably had it on burbling in the background, which I very much appreciate, much as I'm sure lots of you have me burbling on in the background right now. I've got that to film. I've got the 2025 retreat location and details to reveal as well. They are up on the website if anyone is interested, and there are 4 places left available out of the 10, but I will be doing a standalone dedicated video with more of the details about this year's retreat, which I'm really excited about. Then I've got my Make 9 18 review, which I did not finish, and I did not finish either of the grids completely, but I have definitely made more than 9 from the 18 choices I have, and I kind of like so technically I have done it, but I like that I gave myself more options and could pick and choose from those options. And then I was thinking I was going to possibly film a January plans video, but given that I think I'm going to make January a let's catch up and get all of the stuff done that I've wanted to do but not quite finished yet for various reasons, I thought I'd have January as my kind of tidy up, clean up month, because I also want to tidy up the YouTube channel. Some of the playlists have gotten a little bit messy. There's loads of videos and tutorials that I've got on the channel that you guys ask me for, and they're already there. They're clearly not that easy to find, so I thought I would do a channel intro video, sort of like describing how to use the channel, because there's a search bar which, as you're watching this, I think is up here, and you can click on that search bar and put in, for example, French Scene Pocket, and that will bring up my French Scene Pocket tutorial. Obviously you can put that into the bigger search bar on YouTube, and that will bring up everybody's tutorials, and then you just pick the one that you want to use. But I know a lot of you guys are asking me for tutorials for specific things that I've already done, and so there's that little search bar up there. So I thought if I do a channel introduction that sits on the home page when you get to my channel page with like that description on it, and then also I want to do like a index on my website so that you can possibly use that as a way of finding stuff that's on the channel already, because there's over 1,000 videos and some of them are very waffly like this one. So yeah, I completely understand that, you know, like it's not the easiest thing to find stuff, but I don't mind doing it, but when people say, oh, have you done this, could you give me the link to the video, I have to do the same kind of search that you guys have to do to find it. I go through the same process. So I was thinking maybe try and make the channel a little bit more user friendly for all the stuff that's already up there. And then yeah, I haven't addressed it, but the waffle, the behind the scenes waffle is back. So I have decided this year to bring it back to the main channel, because I know there was a bunch of you guys that really enjoyed it and weren't able to go over to Patreon to follow along for the behind the scenes waffle over on Patreon, and I completely understand the amount of subscription services that are available now, and then you end up add on something like Patreon, and if you've got 3 or 4 favorite channels, that racks up really quickly. I am a patron of 5 different people, and my Patreon bill every month is around $40, so I completely understand that that is an added luxury that isn't going to be in everybody's budget. So if you weren't able to come over to Patreon but you missed the waffles, they're back on the main channel. However, I am going to be doing an extended cut or director's cut for the Patreon peeps, which will have some more of the personal and family kind of things behind the scenes. So there is still exclusive, I can speak honestly, words are not hard. There is still exclusivity for the Patreon members, but again, if you are a Patreon member and you only signed up for the waffle, and now that it's going to be, the majority of it's going to be over on the main channel, you decide to unsubscribe from Patreon, totally fine, I get it. But there will be extra content over on Patreon as well. So yeah, I'm back and I'm waffling at you. I'm also obviously going to be having a proper video, 1 a week is the plan. There's going to be the hangouts on Sundays, and I still do a exclusive Patreon hangout first on a Sunday, and then we'll go over to the main channel, and then there's a hangout for everybody to attend if they would like to. And yeah, that's kind of the general overall plans for the channel this year. So I hope you are looking forward to it. I am excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I've got some interesting ideas for projects and videos coming up. I'm really actually kind of looking forward to January, just kind of pottering down here and getting things like finished, tidying off my desk. We took down the Christmas decorations yesterday and packed those away today. I've moved over my glass doors that were down here. I've moved them up into my room because my bookshelves have my boots on them and my cat was using them as a scratching post. So I had my pillows in front of the boots and that wasn't working. So now all my boots are protected behind glass doors and Shiana is not happy. But it made it look really weird down here. It looks bigger. So this is where the doors were living, and they're now up in my room protecting my boots from my cat because she can't seem to use anything as a plucking tool that is designed for that purpose. But my boots, amazing. And yeah, it looks really weird without the doors, the glass doors over the front of here. It just looks bigger, which is not a bad thing. It's just a bit weird. I don't know why it looks bigger, but it looks bigger. It's basically my first day back. I haven't waffled at you for well over 2 weeks, and I have clearly missed you because that was 11.5 minutes of utter nonsense. So I am going to get on today and get some more bits and pieces done. I might get to sewing the 8577 skirt to its bodice because both of those things are complete, but they are independent of each other at the moment. But I do have some other bits and pieces of paperwork and stuff to do as well, so I might carry on with all of that. That's the update so far, and I will be back a little bit later to, fingers crossed, give you some progress about what has happened, if anything, today. So I shall see you then. It's much later on in the day. In fact, it is 9 o'clock and I haven't done any sewing, but I have done some organising. I put my Christmas lights up around the construction that Dad did. Okay, you can just about see them now because I just thought they are not traditionally Christmas light coloured, and I really like them, and they're my company colours, so yeah, I think they're really cute. So that's something I have done today. Not remotely productive, but was something that needed to be done because the little tree down here needed to go down anyway. I've worked on my bullet journal for 2025 as well as planning out some of the content that I talked about earlier, kind of working out the talking points and things that I wanted to film for that. I've been thinking about if I want to do a make 9 this year. Una from So Vintage Now, I need to get this right. I always remember Una with the lovely pink hair, but I want to get the name of her channel right because she has started her own channel. So Vintage Glam, I was right. So yeah, I'll link to Una's channel in the description down below. But she's done a challenge called 25 for 25, which I've only just started watching the video for, but I want to watch some more of it because I kind of like the idea of it. I'm not sure if I want to try make 9 again. As we know, I love the planning stage, and having the 18 last year, as I mentioned earlier, worked quite well because I've definitely done 9 from that 18, so having a larger range of patterns and fabrics to pull from worked really well. But I think maybe I want to try something different this year. I don't know, we shall see. We shall see. Anyway, like I say, it is gone 9 o'clock, so I am going to head back up to the main house, sit with Chi for the evening because I left her at about 10 o'clock this morning, so she's been alone all day. So yeah, obviously dying for my company. She will ignore me the minute I come in. To be fair, she will sit on me, but she'll sit on my shins facing away from me, so she's like, yes, I'm sat on you, but I am not, you're not forgiven for abandoning me all day. So anyway, I am literally just rambling and waffling now, and I have no idea if any of this has been interesting or not, but it is the first thing that I have filmed in 2025, so it's nice to be back in the swing of things, and fingers crossed the voice will go back to its normal self soon. Fun times. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my first day back in the studio officially, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye. Hey lovely peeps, happy Wednesday. I am supposed to be filming today, but I do not feel good after yesterday. I just don't have the energy at the moment. I feel so much better than I did, and I'm going to stop whining about it. So I am going to get on and try and get some of these things completed today, because whilst I won't be featuring them in the 2024 lookbook, it would still be nice to get some bits and pieces done, because that is my plan for January, to complete and finish as many projects as possible. I think I'm going to start working on the 8577 in the rose print because that's the thread that the machine is set up with, although I don't think I've turned this machine on since Christmas Eve. It's been well over 2 weeks, so I know it still works. She says. Watch me have had like a power. No, she's turned on. Thank you. Some like jinxing of myself. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to get on and get done. And the bodice is done, the skirt is done, so they just need to be attached to each other. So does the lining, then buttonholes, buttons, and to see then if the hem of either of them needs leveling. I think the hem of the lining will, but the skirts of cotton lawn I haven't had to in the past, but we will see, because lining's cotton lawn but it's a looser weave. Anyway. Angry robot noises. I've also got to schedule this evening's hangout and Sunday's hangout, and I'm going to be putting up a schedule on Patreon for the hangouts because I am alternating them. We're doing mornings and then evenings the following week. I'm going to start with a morning hangout, so it will be 11:30 for the Patreon peeps and then 12:30 for the main channel. So yeah, I'm going to get that done this afternoon as well. I will report back later, and fingers crossed I will have a somewhat finished dress to show you, which will be the first thing that I get completed in 2025, which is a beautiful summery dress just as the weather has turned absolutely miserable and horrible outside. That's just, you know, the right way to do things, right? Right.
One eternity later.
Hey lovely peeps, it's much later. It's actually nearly 10:15. I've just had a 2-hour hangout with the $10 and $15 Patreon peeps, which has been absolutely lovely. I haven't spoken to those guys since the week before Christmas, because obviously Christmas Day was on a Wednesday this year. So yeah, it was lovely, and I finished my dress. And that was one of the reasons that we kind of like went so long, is because I was determined to finish the hem, and it got to about an hour and a half in and I had maybe this much left. So I finished something in 2025. I'm very pleased with it. I love how it looks. That fabric is just so beautiful. I have, however, because it's part of my zero waste project, and I have finished my dragon, which you guys have seen, my shoulder dragon. Still haven't named him. You guys came up with some really good names, but his head is a little bit wobbly because his neck isn't quite stuffed as much as it should be, and about this much of him isn't stuffed with rose print fabric because I ran out of rose print scraps. But I hadn't thought about it because I've got all these scraps now from all the French seam spaghetti and pinked parts of the inner of this dress when I was making it. So I'm gonna decapitate my dragon. I'm going to take his head off, take out the stuffing that isn't rose print, and put this in, and I'm also going to try and stuff the neck more because he's got too wobbly a head. So yeah, I think he deserves to be, well, he doesn't deserve to be decapitated, he deserves to be stuffed properly, and to do that I'm going to have to decapitate him. So that might be what I end up doing possibly tomorrow before I get started on filming, because I'm going to try and do some proper videos tomorrow. All the ones that I said that I was going to try yesterday that I was going to try and do today, yeah, I'm going to try and do some of those tomorrow. The voice holds up, we shall see. But it's been a lovely day down here, and it's been really nice to do some sewing again. It's been, yeah, Christmas Eve I think is the last time I did any sewing, and it was on this dress, so it's really nice to get this finished, and it was really nice to do actual kind of like work with my hands down here as well. So I've had a lovely day, although it is very late and I need to go and collapse into bed now. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the little bit that I have filmed. I'll be back tomorrow hopefully looking better, because I also have to go and get my driver's license and passport photos done tomorrow. Yeah, fingers crossed I can make myself look like an actual human and make myself sound like an actual human. Like I say, hopefully there's some bloopers and behind the scenes stuff for you to see from the proper filming day. Wish me luck, but also wish me a good night's sleep, because that will definitely help tomorrow go much smoother. So I will see you all then. Bye! Good morning lovely peeps, happy Thursday, welcome back to the sewing room. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that I am in my comfies and zero makeup and hair scrape bag. My brain is just like, I gotta do all the things, and my body is just like, nah, you're not. So yeah, I'm listening to my body, because I don't want a repeat of trying to do all the things and then actually not being able to do anything the following day. I will be better soon, it will be fine, and I have got lots of stuff that I can get on with as well. Today I need to decapitate my dragon, restuff him so that he doesn't have quite such a wobbly neck. I've also got my goldfish dress that has been hanging for the skirts of which have been hanging for at least 4 weeks now, and so the bias will definitely have done its biasy thing, so that needs to be leveled and hemmed. I have got my yellow Sorrento jacket that needs to be sewn up, and I've also got the piping project, of which the skirt is back there, and the only thing the skirt needs is hemming, pressing and hemming, and then I need to make the bodice, but I need to film for that one, and I don't want to try and do a tutorial with a voice like this. Not that it's that bad, but it's definitely better than it was, but yeah. Also, Dad has Vaughan here today, and they are doing lots of loud things with power tools in the back garden because Dad's on a mission to get the back garden completed this year, or at least the major construction works completed, so that he can start beautifying it and we can start using it, because we haven't had a back garden since we've moved here, and that was 4 years ago next month, which just blows my mind. So there is a whole lot of outside background noise that I would have to try and work around with filming as well. And I'm not giving you excuses, I am working through the reasons why it's a good idea to not do the thing that I said I was going to do today in my head for me, because that's how my brain works. My brain will give me a hard time because you said you're going to do the thing and you're not doing the thing, and I'm not doing the thing for good reasons, but yeah. Also, I need to go and get my passport photos done, like I said, but I am going into town tomorrow and I can go and get that done then. So Mum and I have got, Mum's got an appointment at the hospital, I've got an appointment with my eyelash technician, so yeah, I'm gonna go and get photos taken tomorrow as well, so that's a better use of time and car. So yeah, today is going to be decapitation day for my poor dragon, which we still haven't named. He's definitely a he. For as pink and floofy as he is definitely a he. And you guys did give me some really good ideas for names, so I need to go back to the comment section of that Vlogmas and have a look at the ones that you gave. I quite like Ziggy because he is very Bowie-esque. I do think that would be a good name. I think Rachel came up with that one, so yeah, he does need a name though. But I've got to try and get all of that in so that it is properly and officially a zero waste project. Anyway, that's a lot of waffle of what I will be attempting to do today, so I am going to stop waffling at you, get on and get some of these things done. I will report back later, hopefully with a dragon with a more stable neck region, possibly even a leveled hem that I can then finish on the sewing machine. And that's all set up with white thread as well, because I've finished the lining of the 8577 with a narrow rolled hem on the machine which needed white thread, so everything is aligning. And again, I mean it's ridiculous because like changing the thread on the machine takes me all of 2 minutes, but it seems like a monumental task to do, and the fact that it's now set up for the right colour thread was thought about yesterday for like order of operations, but it also makes me very happy. I'm weird. I know I'm weird. You know I'm weird. We're all weird here. Oh, as well, you guys know that we have welcomed many new floofs to the family in the last couple of months, and there was a highlight on my, well, there still is a highlight on my Instagram of us getting them throughout the last couple of months of the year. But I've decided, because the highlights are good, but you have to like scroll through every photo to see the newest uploads to that photo, to that highlight, that stories reel. So I've decided to reactivate my very first Instagram account, which has been renamed the KB Floofs, and I'll link to it down in the description down below if you want to see cute kittens and cute puppy updates. That's where I'm going to put them all. My laptop has just quietened down. Well done, laptop. I haven't even opened it today. It's already like too much work. So yeah, if you want to keep updated with the cute floofy overlords in the house, they will be on their own Instagram account, KB Floofs, and that way that I can put up the individual pictures without spamming my feed with loads and loads of kitten pictures, because they keep doing really cute things that I feel the need to share with the entire world, which I appreciate that they're really probably only cute to me because they're my floofs. But I do know that some of you are interested, so the KB floofs, I will link it in the description down below, and I'll add it to the description of every video going forward so that you guys don't have to try and remember or come back to this one to try and find the link for it. Anyway, that was 6 minutes of waffle. I am going to get on, and I'm going to start with this little guy. I'm going to start by taking his head off. I feel very guilty, but he'll be grateful for it because his head will stand up properly, and it'll be good. And I'm going to try and just take off like the front part of the neck because his head's positioned quite nicely. So if I can take just the front part of it off so that I can get to the stuffing, that would be great. Yeah, let's get that done first. I will report back later and let you know how this has gone. I feel so bad.
A few moments later.
That did not take long at all, about 25 minutes. He's got a slightly cocked head now. Whoops. But his neck is much more stuffed and is standing upright and not quite so wobbly, so that's good. So little change in expression, but other than that, yeah. And now I can officially say that this has been a proper zero waste project. Not one scrap of this rose print fabric has gone anywhere except into either the dragon, the bookmark, the hair ties, the lanyard, the key fob, the dress and the shirt. So yeah, that video is going to be coming really soon, and fingers crossed it will be interesting, hopefully kind of like inspirational for some ideas for what to do with your scraps. It has been a lot of work, so I'm kind of thinking that it's not something that I'm going to do with every single piece of fabric that I have, because it is a lot of work, and how many shoulder dragons does one person need? Although I do want to make some more of these and put them up for sale on the shop because cute. So cute. Although I can also see myself, 2 seconds, sorry, remnants of colds of fun. Yeah, I can also see myself making more of these and ending up with an army of shoulder dragons that I can't bear to let go of because they're all so adorable and cute, because look how adorable and cute this guy is. The other thing that I'm thinking that I want to try doing and have done in the past is make a couple more of the closet core patterns footstools, because the one that Mum's made and the one that I made both took a huge amount of our scraps, and honestly, given how compacted it's been, I could probably fit more scraps into both of those things, because it's been sat on by dogs and kittens and yeah, literally compacted down, so there is definitely more room for more scraps to be stuffed into those. The downside of that is that the interior padding is not washable, but we've made it so that there's like an interior cushion cover so that the exterior can be taken off and washed. I would love to do those as like a kind of giveaway prize for the channel, but they end up being incredibly heavy, so I wouldn't be able to post it to anyone without it costing an absolute fortune. So I'm thinking I might go and ask sort of local charity shops if they would be interested in beautifully made, like the velvet one that I did, footstools, and see if they would be interested in that, or perhaps the WI, because realistically I would probably be able to make 2 a year with the amount of scraps that I generate. So yeah, maybe something like that. I just really don't want to, you know, add to any more fabric, like just garbage disposal kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. If you've got any ideas for what you do with your scrap fabrics, let me know, because I can definitely see myself ending up with an army of shoulder dragons. And whilst he's dense, he is small enough that he would definitely be postable worldwide. He wouldn't cost any absolute earth to send him worldwide, so he is a definite option for scraps. But like I say, how many shoulder dragons can one person make? I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, I'm gonna stop waffling and I am going to attempt to level the hem of my goldfish dress because I would really like to get that one finished and also be able to wear it because it is absolutely gorgeous and I am looking forward to having that added to my wardrobe. So let's get that done next. Hems have been leveled and I'm going to use bias binding for the outer because that's my preference, and then a narrow rolled hem for the lining because visible stitching won't matter on that one. So yeah, glad that I let that drop, and I went for a much shorter length for the lining rather than the outer fabric. This one is 31 inches, this is 29.5, because I wanted to make sure that if the lining dropped a little bit more then it wouldn't matter because it wouldn't be visible underneath of the outer fabric, because I have had that happen in the past. This viscose Americane, I get it from the fabric room and I love it because it's inexpensive, really easy to use, really lovely quality, but it does have a lot of stretch in it on the bias, and even having left this hanging for 4 weeks, I have had things in the past stretch out even more once I've hemmed them. So yeah, I've erred on the side of caution and given a good 1.5 inches of difference between the two hem lengths. Fingers crossed that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass and it doesn't look really obvious, and fingers crossed it also means that it won't show if it does drop on the bias a little bit more after it's been hemmed, because I hate re-hemming hems that I've already done once. That's one of the worst things ever. So I'll get that done and then we can move on to the next little project, which is the piped skirt. And that needs pressing and hand hemming, so lots of hand sewing in my future. It's done! I have hemmed it and I haven't tried it on yet, but I really liked how the sleeves, which are from the Vogue 9006, looked when I pinned them onto the red dress that I think you guys saw in Vlogmas. Yeah, that's another thing finished. I'm feeling very productive. I mean, in reality, like, you know, literally leveling and hemming that was all that needed to finish that dress off, but still, to make 2 for the year, I'm pleased with this. The next thing I want to do is the hem of this skirt, because I think you can see there's quite a thick pink hem at the bottom there, which is, I've piped the bottom edge and then bound it in bias binding. So that needs to be pressed really nice and flat and then pressed up so that I can slip stitch that into place as well, so that it'll be a narrow pink line like the ones between the 2 tiers. And then tomorrow, when I get back from town and all the errands that Mum and I have got to do, I can get on with the tutorial for that, because fingers crossed the voice will be slightly better. It'll be interesting to see how it comes across on screen when I try and edit this, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I'm very pleased with how this has gone so far. I'm liking it.
12 seconds later.
Change of plan. Mum and Dad are going out for dinner this evening. I'd completely forgotten about that, so I'm going to go up and puppy sit and kitten sit. I did have the Alexa on drop in for the sitting room last night when Mum and Dad were out all afternoon. I think I told you. I think I told you this, which worked really well. But I think this evening I'm going to go up and puppy sit because I can also sit in the front room, watch a movie, make myself some dinner, basically kind of like spread out and enjoy myself. So I'm going to do that. But I'm quite pleased with what I've got done today, even though it's not like loads, like dragon decapitation and repair, and I will be back down tomorrow afternoon to work on this one and then get started on the tutorial of piping the bodice, which I'm really excited about. I think this dress is going to be absolutely gorgeous. So I will see you all tomorrow for some more hemming and then, fingers crossed, some tutorialing as well. See you then. Bye. Hey lovely peeps, happy Sunday, welcome back to the sewing room. My goodness, it's cold down here. We had another village-wide power cut last night, no idea what happened. It did almost coincide with me plugging in a floor lamp that has been sitting in my mum's dressing room for the last sort of 6-7 weeks waiting for new bulbs to be put in it, and I plugged it back in and then seconds later the entirety of the village went out and I was like, oh crap. I thought I'd just blown the fuse on the house, not the entire village, but when I looked outside it was like, oh, it wasn't me. Phew. Yeah, we kind of sat in candlelight and under duvets for a lot of the evening last night, and I came down this morning and I said to Dad, oh, is there anything that needs to be reset because it will have turned off because of the power cut last night? And he looked at me and he went, no. And I was like, yeah, no, I couldn't think of anything either. Come down here and remembered that the heater down here turns itself off and doesn't turn itself back on properly. So it's 11 degrees down here rather than the 14, 15 it usually is when I come down. As you can see, I have put makeup on today. I'm feeling nearly 95% human again. My voice is sounding better than it was, and I'm only a little bit bunged up, and I don't actually feel like my head's being squished in a vice, and my joints don't ache, and I'm not like falling asleep every 5 minutes for at least the last couple of days. So that's improvement. I am classing myself as better. So I thought I would try and come and film a bunch of videos today. Theoretically I could have done a live hangout, and I was going to, and I was just about to schedule the Patreon exclusive and then the general channel hangout last night as the power got cut off, and then it was like, oh. When I woke up this morning I thought, you know what, I have only a behind the scenes waffle filmed for next week. I have nothing else filmed because I have not felt like a fully functional human until now. So rather than do 2.5, maybe 3 hours of a hangout, as fun as that would be, I thought I would come down and go through and film all of the videos I want to try and get done for the next couple of weeks up on the channel, because I'm massively behind because of starting the year off with basically what is the flu. It was more than a cold. It wasn't COVID. I checked. My mother had me tested. But yeah, not fun. Yeah, my first thought was that I was going to film all the twirls of all the things that I have made, and I've bought down a top and skirt for, because basically in December I made 4 tops, 3 shirts and 1 top, and that's it. So I bought those down so that I've got something to wear with it, because otherwise that's just, you know, that's a very specific look and not something that I want to put on the internet. But none of these, and also I seem to have, I've just done sleeveless summer clothes in December by the looks of things, completely weather inappropriate clothing. And usually the first thing I do when I come down for filming day is get the twirls done, because they're the bits that make me really hot and bothered because I have to get changed so often. And it's so cold down here, I really don't want to take my dressing coat off. I don't want to take this off, but I'm gonna have to take this off to start filming any of the videos I want to film today. So yeah, I think what I might try and do is do some of the sit down ones first. I could do everything I made in 2024, because that's a sitting here and staying still, and I can put a nice thing on top, and then I can wrap myself up in my blankets from the waist down, as it were. So I think I might do that whilst the radiator warms it up in here, and then move on to the twirls. It's so cold. But never mind. Anyway, that is the plan for today, to try and get all of this stuff filmed so that I have some actual proper videos going up on the channel for the last 2 weeks, or 2 weeks of January, because otherwise it's been a bit of a wasteland around here for the last 3 weeks. But never mind. Anyway, I am going to get changed into my first outfit, and I am going to film my 24 year in review video first, I think, whilst things warm up, because oh my gosh, cold. Anyway, enough waffle, off with some work. I'll be back in a bit. Happy 2022. I haven't filmed for so long I can't get anything right. Nothing like being prepared. Oh come on, laptop, don't break, please. This is typical. I've been using my laptop this morning. It's been absolutely fine. It has been working, and I have come down here and now it's just throwing a hissy fit. Oh come on, you are plugged in, you have power. Fun times. Oh well, never mind. I don't know if you can see this. We'll put this into the waffle. So I've got my blanket on underneath the waist, from the waist down, and I've got my radiator rolled over right next to me. It's on 23 degrees. I would have it under the blanket and try to warm things up, but there just isn't room under the desk. And I'm going to film my everything I made in 2024 video first. This is the 9006 top made with the 2 scarves that I bought from the Silk Route at one of the shows, and I love how this has turned out. This is actually the first time I've tried this on. I envision wearing this in the future with a little jacket and hopefully some trousers or a skirt. There's definitely going to be a skirt, but from the navy suiting that I've bought over the years from Lady McElroy. I've got 2 types back here. One is in fact both of them are Paul Smith. One is smooth and one's got a little waffle texture to it. I have, in the 50% off sale from Lady Macaro that they did, I've bought 12 meters of their Spectrum Blue lining, lotus lining fabric, because I need lining for all of the pieces that are basically in here, other than the tops and the shirts and things. So that project is going to be coming at some point. Like my Anaconda and Thesis collection that I was going to be doing in 3 months last year, and it's taken, yeah, still not complete. Never mind. Come on, laptop, please work. Please don't die. I've actually got a ISA maturing next year that is going to have enough money in it to replace the laptop, so it needs to just keep going till then. At the very worst, if it doesn't, if it won't last that long, I will be able to buy a new one in April this year. Fingers crossed. I need some more people to sign on to the retreat, and I'm going to be filming the retreat reveal today as well. I need 2 more people to sign on to the retreat, because at the moment I'm paying everyone except myself. But that's fine. Yeah, I will be able to buy it in April, but I would ideally like it to last till next year. April's 4 months away, and it's dying now. Oh, and I've got so much footage on here that if this will not start again, some of my videos will be scuppered until I can get to a Genius bar to take some of the stuff off of here. Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. Totally fine. I'm going to invest in some more memory cards this year so that I can put projects onto memory cards and keep footage on those memory cards until I've actually edited and uploaded them, because at the moment I have 2 memory cards that I'm working from, and everything gets put onto the laptop. I should have an external hard drive, and I did have an external hard drive, except my cat Chiana knocked water all over it, and I need to now get that fixed. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's absolutely fine. It'll all be fine. Completely fine. I need that on a t-shirt. My laptop's not starting. I have one job today, one job, filming, and theoretically I could do it without the look back at the twirls, but I would really like to have the twirls that I have filmed so that I can make commentary on them and refresh my own brain as to what I've made, because there's things, I've written it all down. I have got my list, I have written everything down, but yeah, like a visual reminder would be great as well. I'll be back in a minute. It'll be fine. It's only taken 10 minutes, but we have live! Yay! Let's see if I can actually log in. Yay! I can start filming. Phew. Hopefully that isn't too long and too waffly. Hopefully. But I've just finished my 2024 projects or year in review, so I am now going to go and do a twirl of this top because I have it on and it has warmed up a bit in here. I've got my literally I've got my heater next to me and my dressing gown on my lap keeping me warm, so I have warmed up a bit. I've also put on my slipper boots rather than my shark slippers because they're just that little bit longer at my ankles, so they're keeping my ankles warm as well. But yeah, it has come to the time of the day where I am going to have to start doing some twirls for all the made pieces. Wish me luck. I will report back and let you know how chilly I get. This is the first time I've tried any of the clothing pieces from this fabric on, and I love it. Also, my skirt. This was tight earlier this year, so yay, flu's been good for something. But I'm just about to try the dress on for the first time. I've got high heels on, so you're wrong angle now. There we go. Okay, I have finished filming all of the twirls. It's warmed up. It's 21 degrees in here now, which is very pleasant. I really like this dress. I think it's really cute. It does show every single tiny little bit of a ripple down the back zip, and I have pressed it, but I do need to press it again. It's also a little on the snug side, which I wasn't expecting given how big the green skirt was on me. I was feeling very like, oh yay, but no, it is a little bit on the snug side, but never mind, not the end of the world. So I have also tried on the rose print dress, and oh my goodness, I absolutely love it. And I am going to film the zero waste project waffly bit today, but I'm going to do the sewing retreat kind of like overall spiel advert first because I'm in this outfit, and then I'm going to get changed into the rose print dress so I can do the zero waste project. Then I've got my top 5 hits and misses. Also got a Patreon update to do. What else did I want to get done today? I've got a list. Oh, Mike 9 and 18 review and possible plans for next year. I was going to do like a January plans video, but I think I've mentioned a couple of times that I'm kind of just catching up in January and, you know, finishing off a bunch of projects, so I don't think it needs a separate video for all of that. I don't think, especially given that it's going to be midway through the month when it would actually come out. So I think I'll just do a January lookbook of the things that I did get finished this month, this dress being one of them, because I did finish this. I did sew this in December, it just needed hemming and I didn't do that till January, so technically it wasn't finished until January. Yeah, that's the plan. Anyway, waffling at you is not going to get any of those things done, so let's get on and get the promo video done next. Recording adverts is always really difficult. Like, I never ever, I mean, this is my own product, so it's not like I don't believe in it or think what I'm doing is amazing, but whenever it's like an official advert, I'm always just like and get really kind of like deer in headlights and forget what I want to say and how I want to say it. So fingers crossed I have got something from that little bit of filming that I've done. There was about 8 minutes there. Doesn't need to be long, but it just needed to be done. So fingers crossed I can make something cohesive out of it. So that one's filmed. I'm not going to be doing that one. So what do we need to do next? Why don't I do the Patreon update next? Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do next. It's going to be a video that goes on the main channel and it's going to be a free one for everybody, but it's just kind of like an explanation of what Patreon is and what to be expecting from this year. Fingers crossed I can kind of make that work. So yeah, that's another advert. Maybe I shouldn't do another advert next. Let's do the top 5 hits and misses next because that's a fun one and it isn't another advert. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Well, I was mid-flow. Mum's come to visit with Kai. She's going to have to come all the way around here. The heater had turned off last night because of the power cut, so it was 11 degrees when I got down here. It was cold. He's a puppy. Look who I've got. He's a little puppy. Hello, little man. You got wet feet. You have? You got wet feet? Look, say hi to the peeps. Hey? Say hi to the peeps. Say hello. He's like, no, I shan't. I shan't. Hey?
Oh, you're a bit chilly.
Yeah, you got little cold paws because it's chilly outside.
Ooh.
You done everything you needed to? We don't need details.
Not quite.
there's a mum up. There's a mum up there as well.
Hello.
He is so cute. He's a little teddy bear. Little weeny teddy bear. You look sleepy.
I'd just woken up. It just started grizzling and I thought, ooh, quick,
yeah.
out.
Outside. Outside.
Poor boy.
Yeah. You have a hard life, don't you? I was just telling them earlier how good you've been.
He has been extremely good.
Very good boy.
With his little white patch on his nose.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Little puppy break. Okay, another outfit change. This time it's going to be so I can waffle about Patreon. Second advert for the day. Wish me luck. I am going to have the most mammoth editing session tomorrow. It's not going to just be one day, it's going to be lots of days, but yeah, that's going to be fun. Right, anyway. Well, hopefully that one wasn't as awkward as it felt to film. It always, like I say, it feels odd I mean, I use Patreon. I love Patreon. I support people on Patreon. I want to support people on Patreon. I don't feel like they are scamming me out of my hard-earned money. And yet, whenever I try and make a video about my Patreon and people supporting me, it's just like, oh my god, people are going to think I'm such a fraud. I have no idea why my brain does that to me, but it does. So yeah, fingers crossed that video can be made into something that is recognizable as coherent speech and also a self-serving advert, I think would be the accurate description for that. Right, okay, so I have filmed 4 pieces of content so far today. I have got, and this, so technically 5. I've got 1 more to do, I think, because I'm not doing a January plans. We've talked about that. Le Carla jacket, I've not started yet. Zero waste project, that's one that I can do today. Border print placement, I've got 1 more piece to, technically 2 more pieces to make. A January lookbook, it's not the end of January yet. Piping tutorial, I'm halfway through that project. Make 9/18 review and plans. I am going to film that another time because I don't know what I'm going to do for this year's Make 9. I have got a couple of ideas. You'll have to let me know what you think. I think one of them, I want to give myself permission to make up some of my fabrics that I love and that are going to be TNTs, so repeat projects. Having said that, I want to limit myself to 12 TNTs this year, not including the 2 projects that I've finished this year so far, because both of those are TNTs, but they were, majority of them started last year and I've just finished them this month. January doesn't count. January is a free month. Yeah, so yeah, I think what I want to do is give myself permission to make up like the 5951s. There's a bunch of fabrics there that I love, and I know they're going to be 5951s because I haven't got enough of them to make anything else that I would wear as much as I wear the 5951. And then I've got like my elephant and chameleon viscose here that I really want to make it into a shirt dress that's going to be the 9345 with the giant bishopy sleeves. I bought extra fabric so I had enough to do that so that it can be worn under the suiting. Yeah, I think maybe that's what I want to do, is pick 9 of my favourite fabrics that I already have plans for. Because even if it's 9, that's still not the 12 TNTs that I'm allowing myself for this year, is it? So that works. Haha. I think that's what I want to do. You'll have to let me know in the description down below what you no, not description, the description's mine, the comment section down below what you think of that Make 9 plan. I know I don't have to do a Make 9. I know I don't have to do any kind of pre-planning. I know I can wing it for the year. But if I do that, we'll know that I will end up going down the route of either making all of the TNTs and another year of like boring people because I'm just making the same thing over and over again, or I will end up with very little getting made because I'm constantly in a headspace of like I'm planning and I've written nothing down and it all just spins around up there. If I actually put things down onto like paper or graphics, then it's out of the brain and it's a visual thing to look at when I want something new to make, but it's not constantly going around in here. That makes sense to me. You'll have to know if it makes sense to you. I don't know. I think it's a good idea. I think 9 fabrics is a good idea. I think. We shall see. Let me know what you think. Anyway, it is, what's the time? It's 5 o'clock. I am going to come back and film the Make 9/18 review and plans video tomorrow, and I'm also going to film, no, not tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. I'm also going to film my zero waste project tomorrow as well because it's dark outside, I am hungry, and I have lost my voice. My voice is going. Not surprising given how much waffling I've done today, but also I'm filling up my memory card, so need to think about that and getting that done. I need to do a channel trailer as well. See, like, brain, need to write these things down. Anyway, that's the end of the first behind the scenes studio waffle, so I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's been really nice to be back waffling. I mean, technically I never stopped waffling, I just took it to Patreon, so it's really nice to have it back on the channel. There is an extended cut over on Patreon with more personal details about what's been going on behind the scenes for the Patreon peeps, so if you are interested in that, Patreon is listed in the description down below, and there will be a video coming out about Patreon on very, very soon what it is, what the tiers are, what you can expect, that kind of stuff. And I will be wearing this dress whilst doing that one because I've just filmed that. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed the first behind the scenes weekly waffle that's back on the main channel, and you will have to let me know in the comment section what you think, if there's any other things that you would like to see more of, if there's anything that you would like to see less of. I can't guarantee that I can waffle less because I am a waffly person, as you guys know. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. It's been really fun to film, probably less fun to edit. I will see you all next week for more of the same, as well as some proper videos. It's so nice to be back at work and feeling 95% human. Anyway, I'm going to stop now, so I will see you all then. Bye!